All right, so my worst client ever. I was thinking yesterday, like, what if I started to tell stories of, me being an English teacher? And then I thought about what are some stories that I can tell the people who watch this? And I don't know why I came up with my worst client ever because I don't really have a lot of bad clients, to be honest. Um, I'm usually really good at filtering out bad clients or potential bad clients because I want to spend time with people who I enjoy in which I enjoy their presence. So a lot of times the bad clients or potential bad clients, they usually filter themselves out. Um, I would say probably my worst clients were when I first started teaching. So when I first started um, private teaching is when I had I don't want to say the worst clients, but they're not like my clients now, right? So when I first started teaching, I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know how to filter people. So this is 5 years ago when I started private teaching. Wow, was it 5 years ago? Yeah, it was when I was leaving the school. Okay, I was leaving the school, the language school, and I started working for myself full time. And I was half and half. So I was teaching at the language school, and but my private clients were growing. And I had this one guy. I think he saw an ad, so I put an ad. It was like a Kijiji or Subito, which is like a classified ad website. And we met like normally. I normally meet with people for 30 minutes. This is my program. This is what I do. And we agreed on the price, but I made a mistake. I didn't collect the money up front. Okay, so this is at the beginning, right? So when I first started private teaching, usually I would teach a class and then people would pay after each class. But this guy wanted a group of lessons, right? Like 10 lessons, 10 or 20 lessons. And I said, okay, no problem. So, I think I spent maybe 10 or 15 lessons with him, but I never received payment, which was a big mistake. That was the biggest mistake I made at the beginning. This is 5 years ago. Now I don't work with you if I don't work with you or talk to you if I don't collect money first. But yeah, so I taught maybe 10 or 20 lessons and I said, okay, well, these are the 10 lessons we did. This is how much it cost. And he was like, well, I want more lessons. I was like, well, you got to pay first. And I never got payment from that guy. And I was just like, wow, again. And this is because um, I was just thinking, like, wow, like in Italy, like a lot of the language schools that I worked for, I would say all language schools either didn't pay their teachers or they paid late. And when I first started this private teaching, this was my first instance of someone not paying. I'm like, again? Like, is this a common problem in Italy? But then I just realized I didn't have a filter. I didn't know how to filter the right people. Now I don't have this problem at all. So if you don't pay, I don't teach. Point blank. All right. So um, yeah, so this is like 5 years. His name was Claudio. He never paid me. And then I would say other bad clients are people. This was again 5 years ago when I first started private teaching, maybe even 3 years ago, like 2018, even online. People who didn't show up. So if I had scheduled a class and then people didn't show up for class or something like that, Paul, I forgot all this stuff. This is when I first started teaching. I didn't have a system. Now I have a system. I rarely get people who don't come to class. It's rare. And if they can't make it or if they can't come to the class, always most of them send me a message. I rarely have a no show. We say no show in teaching. because I have a system. So my system, I send an email before each class, the day before, maybe 30 minutes before. They also, I think they get a text message as well. So um, yeah, wow, that was like a few years ago. Yeah, that was 5 years ago. My worst client. Then I had some other clients too who um, it just wasn't a good fit. You know, they were really bossy a little bit. Maybe one or two were really bossy. They wanted to try and tell me how to teach and stuff like that. But it's really rare now. Like I enjoy my clients now. Like it's night and day now. So most of the people that I work with now are people that I admire, business people, entrepreneurs, CEOs. So they're really calm. They're really attentive, really humble. They follow, I would say, most follow instructions. And so it works for me. Man, that was 5 years ago. I think the biggest thing was I didn't have a system. I had no system to filter out people. Now my system is so good. I can pretty much tell now. I can feel when someone could be a potential bad client. So, but yeah, it's rare. It's rare now. So I enjoy the people that I meet with now. So it's way better, way better. And now I'm moving into digital products, selling. I have some things coming that I'm really excited about. So I'm moving more into like digital products because I really believe people can learn a language without a teacher because I did it. And I want to share with more and more people. So I want to reduce the price so that more people can get help. And then eventually, content creation. I'm looking into content creation and I have some other things that I want to get into. So, yeah, Claudio, if I ever see you, man, you owe me money.